Well, hello, I'm Byron Paulus, and I know many of you that this is going to, and this is Thanksgiving season. And I am so thankful during this season for the whole One Cry family, the whole One Cry team, and especially the ministry partners and those of you that have been at least praying and encouraging us in our journey here at One Cry. And I know you know there's a lot of big changes that have taken place, but they're the changes that I think are going to make a big difference. So these big changes, it's going to make a big difference, is because of some of the things that God has put on our heart this coming year. And I'm blessed to be sitting here with one of our executive team leaders, one of the One Cry voices, in charge of all the media of One Cry, Bob Bakke. Many of you may know him from National Day of Prayer, Global Day of Prayer. He's been a voice and a leader and a catalyst for the cause of revival and awakening globally, really. And we're blessed right now, Bob, because you have kind of retired from the pastorate, but not retired from kingdom work. In fact, this enables you to invest so much more time in One Cry. And there's some things on the One Cry plans, strategies going forward here that I want you to be aware of that Bob Bakke is leading. One of them is an unusual time for the Collegiate Day of Prayer this year. And then at the end, I'll just ask you to comment on another area, but I am excited with you and so many others about what is 200th anniversary of the origination, launching of a Collegiate Day of Prayer. So would you take a moment here, and you filled my heart with vision, and I pray that you'll fill the heart of our investors with the vision for Collegiate Day of Prayer.
Well, thank you, Byron. And I do want to thank all of you who have invested and poured yourself into even a portion of your lives and your assets into One Cry. And we can attest that it is paying dividends. For example, the Collegiate Day of Prayer, as Byron was just describing, the Collegiate Day of Prayer was founded in 1823, and it was a resolution adopted by denominations and associations of churches all across America to pray on a given day for the colleges and universities of America. And they did so in the wake of a revival, the Second Great Awakening, and which spawned then this prayer effort for revival among the campuses, to the great modern missionary movement, with the student volunteer movement, and dozens of revivals on campuses across America. It's been reanimated then in the last 10 years or so, and One Cry has come along and partnered with some 50 to 60 student ministries that have collaborated to reawaken this desire for prayer on the campuses of America. And over the past 3 years, One Cry has helped produce with this coalition of student ministries a prayer meeting on a day that has resulted in the adoption of prayer of 4,200 college campuses. And this year, as Byron mentioned, the 200th anniversary of this adoption of this concert of prayer for the colleges. And not only are we rejoicing in that, but we are celebrating on the campus of Asbury University the nearly 50 years since the Asbury revival that took place in right around 1970, but then blew up on campuses across America that helped fan into flame what we know as the Jesus movement. And that is a movement that affected me and changed the course of my life and gave me the taste of revival that has not waned ever since. And so I want to see that personally happen again on the college campuses of America. And of course, there is no greater need for revival than on the college campuses of America. So your investment in One Cry is actually helping these 50 to 60 college ministries accomplish this purpose, and then also widen the prayer efforts across America too. So just in that alone, and this is helping then too to put into the vocabulary of a brand new generation the terms and concepts and hunger for revival and spiritual awakening. So all of these things are happening because you are partners with us, and we're so grateful for it.
And I echo that thank you and gratefulness for your partnership. And Bob, I think it's so interesting. Asbury University is in Wilmore, Kentucky, right near Cane Ridge, which is one of the most fascinating movements of God in our whole history book of revivals in the Second Great Awakening. And I just think it's interesting that they're going to be there where the flame of revival was so powerfully demonstrated in 1804, I think it was, and where God just moved in ways that historians just had to kind of sit back and say, this has to be in the history books of America. So be praying for the Collegiate Day Prayer the last Thursday in February, and get involved in your local campuses, mobilizing them to prayer walk the campuses, to engage in that Collegiate Day of Prayer, and especially the broadcasts that One Cry is producing for the Collegiate Day of Prayer, and you're helping to make that possible. So thank you.
One more
please,
thing that would be really, really exciting. The Irwin brothers, who are Christian filmmakers, are premiering on the 24th of February, the day after the Collegiate Day of Prayer, their new feature film called The Jesus Revolution. And it's a story of the Jesus movement. And Asbury has its roots in the Jesus movement, and we're going to be co-promoting the Collegiate Day of Prayer with the Irwin Brothers film, and premiering at least a bit of that on the Collegiate Day of Prayer the night before. So with all of its history, with Cane Ridge in the 1800s, with the 200th anniversary of the Collegiate Day of Prayer, with the anniversary too of the Jesus movement in the 1970s, and with the history on the college campus of Asbury, there's so much to help us pray and look forward to.
So thank you for helping to make all that possible this year, and I hope your Thanksgiving is filled with just so much of recognizing the goodness of God and how He is on the move today in the midst of everything happening in our culture, to ignite a passion and a desperation, really, for a great movement of His Spirit and revival. So thank you for being a part of that. God bless you, and enjoy this Thanksgiving season to His glory.
Amen.